going on, everybody?
How's it going?
Welcome to another Terp Talk Tuesday with Micannacast. I'm Canna Dave.
And I'm Groovy.
Today's Terp Talk, we're going to be talking about a little bit about psychedelics.
We always talk about psychedelics.
True. But this time we're going to be going to psilocybin, ayahuasca. Help me with some of the other ones I'm blanking on.
DMT.
Thank you.
Peyote.
That's what I was thinking
You said psilocybin. That's like the main one.
And ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
There's a possible ballot proposal here in Michigan that could be on the 2022 ballot for 18 and up to be able to cultivate and share with others psychedelics. So we're going to be talking about that.
And Instagram, you should be able to see our whole broadcast today. So that's exciting, except for we have nothing on the social titles yet, so you don't see anything yet. That's my bad.
That is right. Groovy actually hooked it up, man.
So if you're on IG, you should be able to hear us and see us.
Perfectly. Loud and clear. Yeah, it looks pretty sharp.
Shit. I'm still doing. I got to get this stuff going.
But before we get started and everything, always let us know what you're smoking and dabbing on. We're going to be starting off with the Big House OG, Groovy.
Yeah.
All right. Big House OG, and this is from Winewood Organics out in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It is micro business, if you're not familiar with it.
Yep.
And I'm excited to try this. Not sure exactly what strain. Not what strain. I've blanking on what I was gonna say, man. Oh my gosh. That we did a little bit of a hash joint earlier today, and I think that still got me going. What up, Brain Jerk on IG?
Yo,
I like the new view.
Yeah, thanks. Good.
Thanks,
I'm
Groovy.
glad.
Thank you,
Danny.
Groovy.
What's up, fam? On Facebook. Sorry, Groovy's a little quiet right now because I got a lot going on, more than normal. So I'm getting some shit situated. So I'm gonna let Canna Dave entertain you for a second.
Oh, it's all good.
Appreciate you letting us comment, but I'm not seeing it. So.
Okay. You're not seeing anything. It's all good. Don't worry about it. But yeah, let us know what you're smoking and dabbing on. We're going to be smoking the Big House OG. We're going to be also smoking on Gary Payton as well today. What up, T-Dub? Happy belated birthday. Saw it was your birthday in the story. That's what's up. Hope you're smoking good, celebrating good.
Yeah. Hope everyone's dabbing out there and smoking well. I'm about to rip a dab of some Animal Mints. Ugh, I just forgot my rig behind me.
All right.
Yeah. We're loaded. Or we're here now. All right. Groovy's finally ready. How's everyone doing?
Nah, man. Anyone can actually shop at Winewood. It's adult use, 21 and up. It's all organic. Everything is made in-house. And speaking of Winewood, that's what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. We're smoking on some flower right now. Segue. We have our episode release. We are going to be dropping that episode tomorrow at 4:20 Eastern. We had Eric, the owner, on, and then Greg, one of his employees who's been there since pretty much the opening. And we discuss the whole process of what it was to get a micro license, what he had to go through, what it's like right now being in the business here in Michigan with all these other licenses where you have companies that got like stacked 1,000 plant counts. So everything is sourced in-house, from the edibles to the hash, and that's the hash I was talking about we smoked a little bit ago, to the flower and to the live resin in carts. So it's pretty cool.
Microbiz, baby.
If you haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend and check it out because I think it's a unique. I like it because it's a micro business, and we've talked about that previously. So we get in a lot to that tomorrow on the episode.
But hey, today's about ethogenic plants, and Mr. Roger, definitely check out the Kitchen Couch, the boys from Canada. They got a great show, and Free the Shrooms, absolutely, because that's what we're talking about today. It's just psychedelics, and of course, cannabis is a psychedelic. In case people forget,
it is, and that's why you corrected me right off the rip, because we are always talking about psychedelics. And you don't realize that. Hey, dude, Brain Trick loves the new look, man. All groovy, man. All groovy. Everyone give Groovy props on IG. I'm pretty...
or anywhere. I'll hit the button. I can give myself props. No,
well, it's something we've been trying to figure out, so you got it. So always trying to alternate and change stuff for the show for you guys. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, always send us a DM. Always checking.
Hell yeah, yeah. And honestly, just talking about ethogenics plants like DMT, all these things, there's so many medicinal purposes that we haven't even tapped into. It's just same thing as cannabis. You know, for the longest time, everyone's like, oh, they're just getting stoned. Oh, they're just getting stoned. But realistically, there's like life-saving properties to these things. And I always go back to PTSD and using psychedelics to help the mind, and you know, because it puts you in a very vulnerable place. Even when you're like super stoned, people get very paranoid. And you remember when you were first smoking weed and things would look weird, like that's like tripping. It's like coming up on like a psilocybin trip. You know what I'm saying,
dude? Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I think I think it is something that should be happening. Do you think it's going to happen quicker than cannabis fully being legalized? Because it seems like it's moving pretty fast,
it is
right?
crazy. I mean, so that's why we want to do this episode, is because
how slow
like
cannabis has been moving since like the first state was legal,
exactly.
or even medicinal. Because now we're having,
and there's like 15 states that we've kind of like pulled up that are kind of talking about ethogenic plants in their future and the possibilities, you know. So it's wild to me.
So like Detroit decriminalized it, obviously not a state, but a huge city here in Michigan decriminalized it last November. Ann Arbor got rid of it too. Before Detroit did.
Right.
So it is moving in the positive direction here in Michigan. I mean, I hope to see it on the ballot. In the marijuana moment, they said they have some type of, they have to do something today for it, which is the 8th. So we'll know if it's continuing to move forward, and then it's in March if it's officially on the ballot. And hey, who knows? If it does go on the ballot, you know what it's similar to Groovy? It's similar to when cannabis became legal in 2018, just the midterm election, governor election,
right,
some seats up, and then you had some specific bills up. So you're not getting the huge crowd. So it could pass if
right. It's true.
I'd be obviously voting for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it is a great alternative medicine. Even microdosing, I think, is just great. Open up, de-stress.
Well, because you think about what's the difference between a microdose and taking like 15 dabs of the brain? Like, not a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like,
no, really, you're right. I know.
You know, so it's like using cannabis, and I think it's kind of funny how it's kind of like a two-way street. Ethogenic plants going further ahead is helping cannabis, but cannabis is also helping push ethogenic plants, right? Like they're kind of like they're racing the parallel together. One goes ahead, like back and forth. You know, I was kind of reading all these like different states are all doing different things. You know, Michigan, like they said, they're trying to put on the ballot this November for 18 and older, which I thought was crazy because cannabis is 21.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know. There's always this weird bias with cannabis that I don't understand.
So there'll probably be what's it called then? I'm assuming. I wonder if there'd be shops then, right? They're mushroom shops or psychedelic shops.
I mean, I don't know how it would work. I'd love to talk to Mr. Hashbash because he talked about it a little bit with us, but I think they can do that over in the Netherlands, and he's the only one person that I can think of that I know that's been there. But I'm assuming what else would it be? Because it would be medicinally going, you get different strains, like different amounts.
Right? I mean, because you'd be able.
There are tons of different strains.
Oh, exactly.
Golden teachers.
And you're able to cultivate your own within the proposal that they have currently in its state right now. I mean, obviously the bill. Right. I'm all for it. I just find it amazing that, like you were just saying, a lot of the psychedelics are moving up quicker than cannabis in my mind. I don't think psychedelic. Crazy. I shouldn't say psychedelic. Psilocybin and everything but cannabis on the psychedelic side. Like cannabis has been moving, but it's so slow. Like the Safe Banking Act, they still can't bank. It's messed up all over all over the states. Each state's different. You got Mitch McConnell today, segueing a little bit, that says the Safe Banking Act being placed into the Competes Act that we talked about in last week's episode, Groovy, is a poison pill.
Crazy.
The Senate Minority Leader calling it a poison pill. It's like, dude, what? How is it a poison pill for the... They all have their own agenda on how they want to get cannabis passed, because then also in the article, it talks about Chuck Schumer saying he's going to deliver his bill in April. Wasn't it like last April or May he talked about it? So it took a whole year for him to come up and actually bring the bill up. Because remember, he talked about it because it was with him, Cory Booker, and it's like, they're all talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because that's the thing. They'll say what they need to say to get votes.
It's just unreal.
I mean, not every politician, but a lot. I do generalize sometimes when I'm frustrated, so it's just how it is sometimes, you know. So
it is. I don't know. It's interesting. I think how they have if you're able to cultivate and gift mushrooms and things like that, I think that's great because, like you said, there's so many different varieties of mushrooms.
So we got a comment. I want to talk about this because someone T-Dub just said someone in Detroit, my buddy in Detroit said you guys can get them delivered right now. We're talking about mushrooms?
Well, it's decriminalized in Detroit, remember?
Right, but what's the legality about selling it though?
I don't know on that.
Is it like, hey, buy this shirt and I'll give you a free quarter of mushrooms? Everything I sell boxes of pens to people, and then they get some mushrooms with their purchase. Like, which again, if it works, it works, dude. If it works, it works.
It works. Yeah, right. Hey, I don't know. I think they're a good alternative. I think it's a really good, especially for anyone that's had PTSD.
He did. It is shrooms. Yeah. So maybe. Oh no. And again, like, you know, I believe what I believe, and I think, you know, smoking. I think mushrooms are just like what weed was 20, 30 years ago. You know, or not even. You know, it's just like the next thing. You know, but to me, it's very shocking that it's ethogenic plants are seeing such a fast. Like I feel like cannabis has been dragging ass for like 10, 20 years, right?
So
and then ethogenic, like the mushrooms and stuff, is just kind of flying up, like and catching up, and now maybe even surpassing. So
well, you have a lot of, like you said, you have a lot of states looking into it. Right. Where was it? You have in I think it was Utah. They introduced a bill last week that would set up a task force to study and make recommendations on therapeutic potential of psychedelic drugs. Kansas, a lawmaker, also recently filed a bill to legalize the low-level possession and cultivation of psilocybin mushrooms. And it just keeps going. 2 Republican lawmakers in Oklahoma recently filed bills meant to promote research into therapeutic potential of psilocybin, and one of the measures would further decriminalize low-level possession of psychedelics. And he said his states. Is Kansas even medical, or like? I don't think Kansas is adult use. Is Kansas medical? Because like that'd be them going quicker into psychedelics than over
a cannabis.
Yeah, which would be
that's what I was talking about.
Because Oklahoma is a big cannabis hub right now. Oregon, obviously, all drugs are decriminalized there.
Right. Well, it's a different world there.
So Virginia, they just brought up a bill taken up by the House panels last week, but it's pushed off until next year, 2023. But a separate Senate proposal to decriminalize psilocybin alone was defeated in a key committee on Monday. So unfortunately, that one got knocked down. But
that was just this past Monday. Like, it's all coming in so fast.
Yeah,
like, where is this coming from? Like, why couldn't we get cannabis moving this fast? Like, where we, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, what?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy to see the ethogenic plants. It's very exciting, but it's very wild to see how fast it's moving compared to cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Lots of veterans in the mycology space. You would be surprised. Okay. That was a good shout out on YouTube. Interesting.
I'd agree, man. That makes sense.
What I guess the advances are a little beyond me, because like I am a little like, because you know, I mean, to me it's always been like a street drug. I haven't had the fortune to find someone that I'm like, here, I have 30 different strains of mushrooms. I've got lucky and just had different types of mushrooms throughout the years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like, I couldn't even imagine going to a spot where you can just go get your mushrooms. Like, hey, the mushroom shop.
That's what I was saying. That'd be kind of cool.
Right? I mean, isn't that eventually what's going to happen?
I'm assuming.
Like, I mean, look, this is, remember when cannabis went legal, we had the great, like, you know, the dispensaries that with no licenses and the delivery services.
And then
it's the same thing as what they're doing right now. They're probably doing delivery services and running shops. You know what I'm saying?
They eventually will, and then they're probably. Hopefully they don't try to tax it, because then it's a whole nother thing.
Well,
you know, like, oh, jeez.
What I mean, of course they're gonna tax it, but what do you mean by that?
I don't know. Like, hopefully,
like
it's not,
over, like what
they're doing.
Kill it with
yeah,
taxes,
like what they're doing with cannabis,
yeah,
man.
Well,
like,
that's true. No, I feel that.
We always go back. California's like almost 40% tax. You have Illinois where it's got different taxes on different products. Like, you're destroying the market. Like, anytime you look at California news and cannabis, there's always something coming out that's just like, what the heck are they doing?
Right.
So either raising taxes, trying to get rid of plant counts, just raiding more illegal grows. Like they're just, I don't know, always doing something, man. Always doing something.
It is wild. It is wild, man. I can't even handle that sometimes when I think about it. Damn. Oh, we got a good comment here. I believe the law they're trying to pass now doesn't legalize commercial grows or commercial sales. Interesting. So it still would be personal. And I mean, that's good. It's all personal. They should. That's how it should be, honestly. If they legalize it for research purposes, like research first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? Like that's very important. So that would be sweet. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like what is everyone else's thoughts? Because I mean, I imagine everyone else but you just don't want to see it follow cannabis's steps, where it's like look how California is like basically circling back on itself. You don't want to see those plants doing that either. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, catch-22, right?
Yeah, or you just gotta find the shroom guy, or your
yeah, right. Find the shroom guy. I like it.
I just it's cool to see that we're moving in that direction with with cannabis and psychedelics, all psychedelics.
Right.
Like, it's good to see that because it's not so much a restriction on it when it's not like if you're microdosing shrooms, that's not going to affect you as you're eating like a whole quarter or something. You know, sometimes you could overtrip. Some people possibly. So even starting smaller and doing different amounts on it, I think it's a great access for people to use and try because it opens up the mind.
It's true. I mean, that's what cannabis did to me, too. So it's like, it's not surprising,
Yeah. No. Well, I think I'm about to spark up the Gary Payton.
Do it. Let's go. I mean, I just think that legalization of these plants will also help cannabis. Like I said, it's, look at how these states moving so fast on the mushrooms. Like, I had no idea that this many states were moving this fast on mushrooms until we started doing a little digging and
I know it's not even just cities; it's actual states now.
Yeah, and like you said, Kansas is what's their law on marijuana in the first place? So are they jumping ahead? I mean, did you even get down to Vermont? That's where I think I'm jumping a little bit, but it's wild. Vermont, I don't even think has. I mean, I think they do have. They have legal, right? I'm sorry, but so. New Hampshire, they fired measures to decriminalize psilocybin and all drugs. What is New Hampshire? What? I've never even been in New Hampshire, but they're trying to decriminalize psilocybin and all drugs. They're following Oregon's path. It's these states that I didn't even think about are making big moves. It's crazy. Ethogenic plants, man.
So I don't know. I just did a quick Google search. Kansas, marijuana possession in Kansas. It is a crime to possess any amount of marijuana, including small amounts for personal use. In Kansas, violations are Class B non-person misdemeanor, punishable up to $1,000 or 6 months in jail. So I don't know. That doesn't seem too harsh, though. Oh, it looks like July 1st, 2023. It looks like they'll have medical use.
We got a good comment on Instagram. It says, I'm all for it. I feel like more space needs to be legalized. Cannabis kicks some rock solid laws down, land and everything else to follow suit. And we got another comment, Brain Jerk, saying they will tax it. And of course they will. But,
that makes sense.
I mean, that goes with anything going legal. You know what I mean? Ethogenic plants and in psychedelics going legal, all of it, they're gonna tax it. But the thing is, if it's gonna be at that level of only personal use, what does that really mean? You know what I mean? How does that really even matter then?
I'm curious what the personal use is. I just saw it a little bit. I gotta dig more into it because once it becomes on the ballot, we'll probably dig more into it, the written law of it. But what's personal use? Is it similar to what cannabis is? A couple ounces,
Yeah, something, right? I mean, that it's got to be.
And then how would you know like plants? You can have 12 plant counts. Is it how could you count shrooms? If they're growing in mold or whatever in the closet.
Oh, you'd have to be batches, basically.
Right, but how big's a batch though?
It's a Good point, right? Because it just kind of molds similar to like it just grows like that, so you're just pulling them off.
So I'm just thinking of the one bag we
soil.
saw. Like if you had bags like that and you grew it, I could see that size. But I mean, I've seen.
Like, how do you limit it? Basically,
Yeah, yeah, I
how
was
what do you
just curious.
do
I'm
with
just curious on
mushrooms?
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Again, like all these, everything, DMT, peyote, they're probably gonna all have specific measurements and weights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because DMT is usually extracted in powder form, right? Sometimes I've seen it frog DMT in like vape cartridges and type of stuff, which I didn't do actually, but I was curious. It was just like before a set of mine at a music festival. He's like, "Want to hit this?" I'm like, "No." Like,
Nope.
I like Deemsters, but not like that. Not right now. Again, all these states moving with all these different paces makes me realize that my whole thought on it is just that it's all the same to someone who doesn't smoke weed, right? Mushrooms, weed, is all heroin, all of it's the same to them. So it's crazy to think like that, but I guess it's on the other side, like people that like me that don't just agree with both, like they do probably look at it as like, oh, less of a problem because you don't hear about like mushroom ODs, like, because it's not that popular, right?
Yeah.
Like it is popular. It's not that regular, excuse me. But
No, I mean, it hopefully it gets on the ballot and it is able to get passed here, dude.
I love it.
2022. That'd be
I
great.
love this. Dan said, why wouldn't they legalize shrooms? They're amazing.
Yeah.
Facts.
100%.
Facts.
100%.
And the things they can do is great.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, let's take a quick second break from the psychedelics.
Yeah, what was it? Do you want to talk about that thing, or what do you want to talk about?
Oh, I was just gonna take a quick break. That's what everyone's smoking on, dabbing on.
Oh, okay, right on.
What dab did you take? 'Cause I don't even know what dab you took to start off. I think you just went straight into the Puffco.
Animal mints. I put a comment in there.
Oh, nice.
Everyone knows what I'm doing, but not you. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. No, that's great, man.
But yeah, I'll get you one if you want.
I'll take a dab. Yeah, I'll take a dab. Smoking on just some Gary P. Like I said, tomorrow we got the Winewood episode coming out.
Dude, Eric's story is super cool. Very cool story. I loved hearing from him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg for hooking up the convo.
It's a great interview. We actually are on site. So if you didn't see the little clip we posted earlier, we're actually on site doing the recording, which I thought was awesome.
You did it from the trim room.
Did it from the trim room. So definitely check that out. We will be going live this Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And also we have our event this Friday still. We still have a couple spots available.
We still have a handful. So if you want, message us, reach out. It's $40 for gameplay. It's Friday at 6:30 p.m. Definitely please reach out. We do have some spots left. So
got some cool gift baskets.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be leaving with a rolling tray. We got 5 to maybe even 6 gift baskets now.
Yeah.
All with like different 420 stuff, like flour. We got some t-shirts, hats. It's gonna be sweet. So hopefully you can make it out. We had plenty of great companies reaching out and giving us some stuff, and it's been really cool. So thank you. Shout out to all those companies. I don't know if we should list them all right now, but just shout out.
Pretty good. We've been posting some of them on our social, on our IG. You can see some of the sneak peek of the videos.
Pre-rolls. There's gonna be terpenes. There's gonna be edibles. There's gonna be. I think that's about it. Oh, and then the Winewood package has the concentrates in
hash,
it. So literally, we've got a little bit of everything in these giveaways. So whatever your preference is, flour, concentrates, you could win them. So be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. After this week, it's been a long week. It'll be nice to go out. Then you got the Super Bowl on Sunday. That'll be a huge one. Did you see Weedmaps dropped a commercial on the Super Bowl?
Hold on, I gotta bring up I guess we can come back to it when we get
No. If there's a comment, yeah.
There's a comment, and Mr. Roger, I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce it, but he says, it would be legal to have someone go to your place of business It'd be have someone go place their business and dose them and accept payment accordingly. People in California charging $4,000+ for one experience of mushrooms. Are you serious?
$4,000 for mushrooms?
Well, it's probably like a guide. You know, like a guided experience. You know how people will do guided ayahuasca?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't read ayahuasca in there.
No, it was on the
Rager.
Oh, like Mr. 8?
Rager.
The Kid Cudi song.
Yeah.
I
But
love
that's
that.
crazy. Where did you hear about that? Because to me, I mean, you get mushrooms, you spend like $40 for an eighth of mushrooms. You're gonna go somewhere else. So, you know, back in the day, I'd always buy at least a quarter. But.
A guided tour would be
Yeah,
kind of
it's
cool.
guided. That does make sense.
Like $4,000 is a little bit out of price range for sure.
I mean,
what
what's interesting to me is like they must just be really experienced with controlling, like keeping you like happy in a positive guided space. But I find it interesting because every mushroom experience I've had has gone pretty wild. So I've never even thought about having it as a guided. You know, I've had chill ones, I guess, but even when they're chill, it's wild, you know? So it's interesting because, I mean, I've never done ayahuasca, but like it is like you watch people do ayahuasca and you're like, whoa. But that's how it is when you're tripping too. So it's like mushrooms. So I do get it.
Yeah, I've not done that.
Yeah, but that, I mean, again,
I think
just
it'd be
like you
cool
said, you're
before
paying
gay, man,
Cali
dude.
prices.
That's a
You're
lot.
paying Cali
That's a lot.
prices. You know what I mean? You're
I
paying.
mean, it's probably your best trip though. If it is, like maybe they keep you at, I don't know.
Well, they probably keep you really positive mindset. They probably keep you like, if you have certain goals or things you want to think about, you know, they probably kind of bring them up in healthy, controlled ways, you know, because like you know, like I was just saying, like when you trip, your mind will just go, you know, and you'll, especially if you're doing stuff or you're with people, you never really know where your mind's gonna go either. You know what I'm saying? So. I think it would be really cool, but $4,000 is
That's
super. I mean, you're talking Cali prices too, so
No, that's expensive.
you're probably talking 20 times anywhere else, probably 10 times anywhere else.
4,000 per person.
Well, I mean, think about it. Anywhere else in the world, you probably do it for $400 or $500. Like that's relative. I mean, if someone charged me $400, they supplied the mushrooms.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. That's
cool, I mean, sure, that's a pretty.
Try it one
that's
time
a pretty
out.
fat.
You're trying it one time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a pretty fat payout for them, but at the same
Hey.
time, like, I mean, they are doing you a service, right? So, yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. But again, if it was 10 times cheaper, like,
yeah.
it's $4,000. It's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine having a guided experience on mushrooms and having to hand over $4,000. Like, I got charged like an eighth of mushrooms once for like $50-$60, and I was like, damn, this is expensive, right? So, I don't know. I guess I'm really cheap, like, you know what I mean? Or like, we don't live in Cali. This is Michigan.
Yeah.
But, I
That's
mean,
a cool fact, though. I appreciate that.
it would be cool. Thank you for joining, D-Rock. Celia on IG. Appreciate you, Brain Jerk. What's up, fam? Well, they just jumped on. Let us know what you're smoking on, dabbing on. But it is just, I don't know. A guided experience would be crazy. We had a great comment. T-Dub says, turn on some black lights and watch Lil Wayne videos. Guide it. My man's. Dude, I'm not going to lie.
Great.
Pendulum album, laid on my floor and just looked at the ceiling. And it was like, album went by. So, like, again, this was like a decade or so ago. But, yeah, man.
They're good, man.
Someone said, I didn't T-Dub. It's T-Dub. It's great. It's T-Dub. He said, for $4,000, I want to trip balls for a week, right? Like, I want to leave. I want to go home with some, an ounce of mushrooms and
Dude, that's just so
and more.
expensive.
That's a lot. $4,000 for a guy to. But again, ethogenic plants going legal. This is what you're gonna see happen: is people starting to upcharge and take advantage, and But I think for research reasons, like this could be huge. You know what I mean? Ethogenic, like because.
Oh, I agree.
And like PTSD and veterans and stuff like that, they could at least try it. If they choose not to, that's their choice. As an American, then you can choose what you want, right? But if it's an option, I mean, it's still like why if you've got a medicinal card, if you have a medical card of cannabis, why can't you use your insurance? Until when it's decrimmed, you should be able to. I believe, Mr. Rager Crime, correct me. But pretty sure in Canada you can. But I'm not sure. But here it would be cool. Or even there it would be cool. Because to me, in my mind, that's when you cross that line of like, that it's normalized. I mean, you have that choice to do holistic things. Like, could you imagine going to get like microdosing psilocybin pills and like prescribe them, take one per whatever your dosage, right? And all you have to do is mash up the thing with cannabis. Imagine you go into a dispo and be like, oh, I'm medical. Here's my insurance. Oh, okay. Here's your 2.5 ounces. Here's your copay.
Yeah, but I think that's probably further down the line, right?
I'm just saying that is the future of all this. And with ethogenic plants going legalized and then cannabis, we'll have to talk more safe banking as it gets updated. But like, because like you said, we still got people hating on it. But there's like that is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Right?
I mean, you got to hope, right?
Right.
That's, I don't know. It's a step forward. It's always a step forward, but I feel like we're always going steps back. Like cannabis, like it's getting all this hate, but you have like this just like sliding under the radar. And like you said, it's just going up, up, and up.
It's true.
At a faster pace, and you're seeing cities decriminalize it, and now you're starting to see a lot of states talking about it. So I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't know if it's gonna pass cannabis or if cannabis will be like decrim.
Yeah, because you brought up cannabis and they failed to legalize low possession, right? The psilocybin, right? Did you talk about Missouri?
I don't think so.
Okay, so a Republican Missouri lawmaker introduced a bill this month to give residents with serious illnesses legal access to a range of psychedelic drugs like psilocybin, ibogaine, ibogaine, I'm not sure what that is, and LSD through expanded version of the state's existing law, the right to try law. And I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, granted, it is like right to try. It doesn't really seem like, it's like medicinal, but like if it's something you want to try and microdosing, I mean, that could be beneficial,
I mean, I think it's a good option always to have, like, instead of.
But Missouri? Like, whoa. Are they even legal with cannabis? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even sure. I don't hear their name in cannabis at all. So I feel like they're not, but who knows? But like you said, man, it is wild to see some of these states. Like, okay, Washington. Okay, well that's not too surprising. Washington State's lawmakers also introduced legislation this month that would legalize what the bill calls supported psilocybin experiences by adults as 21 and older. So, like, it's interesting that mushrooms is moving faster than cannabis.
Yeah, I know, and especially if it gets on the Michigan ballot and Michigan votes.
I mean, they're gonna vote it in. We're gonna vote it in. I know we are.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
But that's just gonna be the progressive movement going towards getting everything like that legal. Like personal amounts, I think that's perfect. I think it's great. You'll be able to gross your own.
I mean, I think we brought up like 10 states. Look at all these states doing shit. I mean, that's 1/5 of the states doing shit. That's pretty fast out of nowhere.
I believe there's 37 medical or adult use laws for the states too. 37 out of the 50.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're like right neck and neck almost.
You'll be catching up. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
In a shorter amount of time, like you were saying earlier. Yeah.
I mean, why do you think ethogenic? Is it? I mean, maybe it's because the research is showing positive effects, like like cannabis, but there's not as much like hate on these drugs, right? There's not as much negative propaganda that it has to fight. I don't think
it's a cash crop like cannabis.
But that's what I'm saying. Is psilocybin like getting the treatment that cannabis should, but just because people aren't like you said, bankrolling, and just because people can't, like, is that why? Like,
I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, I don't think you're gonna see the sales of any ethogenic, all of them combined, compared to like cannabis sales.
Well, dude, it's the use. It's the usage. Like, people will eat mushrooms occasionally.
Government's more looking on cannabis because they can make more money off cannabis. So this is probably, that's in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe this is flying more under the radar, but it's really not, because they're seeing it pass. But they're like, maybe we'll just let this go now, and because like you are saying, it is moving up pretty quick, and then it's not like it's slowing down. Like, I didn't even know this was had a potential to be on the ballot, to be honest, until
I do like this comment.
Go. And what up, Am I Lawflower?
It says, most people that hate on ethogenic plants never dabbled with them. Absolutely, but that's how it goes, man. Everyone who... All right, I don't want to go on a rant. I'm about to start swearing and shit. But everyone that hates on cannabis never tried this shit. So everyone that hates on mushrooms, like, oh, it must be like Alice in Wonderland, LSD, ha ha ha. Like, no. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you smoke weed. Okay, Scooby or Shaggy, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, people, like these people that are so detached from reality, or from what it really is, because of media, and they never dabbled with them, that it's like, ignorance is bliss, right? They don't know, right? And that's why education is important. That's why I'm glad we're talking about. I mean, granted, most of our followers here like smoke weed and do mushrooms occasionally and all that stuff, but
yeah, no. So talk about terps or anything with cannabis. We want to talk about some psychedelics.
Well, it was just a switch up, and because if we're just catching you up, it possibly might be on the ballot this November for 18 and plus in Michigan to be for some psychedelics, psilocybin. And then because of that, it kind of led us down this train of finding some articles talking about other states and all their ethogenic plants laws and how they're changing. So we just want to talk about psychedelics and their parallel with cannabis because, I mean, the education is important about ethogenics because, like you said, there's so many parallels with like mushrooms and cannabis. They're both plant based. They both help your psycho. They both help psychoactively, right? Like they're both psychoactive plants. You know what I mean? So there's more in line than comparing that with like booze that sometimes people do. So it's fantastic because think about it. If mushrooms get to that point of decriminalized faster, then people are gonna be like, "Are you serious? Like, what's going on here?" When weed's like the lighter version of mushrooms, and then they're like, "Oh well," So it's like I'm happy to see this going legal, ethogenic plants going legal, like towards that. That'd be sweet, dude. Go pro cannabis. And we got a comment. Gary said, "What we smoking on?" We're smoking on some Gary P right now.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, put it out.
Oh, did you?
Well, yeah, we were taking the dab and it went out. So
hold on. We can keep taking some dabs.
Yeah, we were dabbing up, and then we started off with Big House OG out from Winewood in
that OG
Ann Arbor. Yeah, not bad. It had the OG taste to it. Yeah, it's all organic too. Smaller buds.
Yeah, what's everyone else dabbing on, smoking on out there? We can take a break from the ethogenic plants again. Like we just like to come on and off because sometimes we'll just ramble. So, but yeah, what is
shout out to the sponsor as well too, Groovy.
Yeah, go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
All right, so this one of our sponsors is Nino Naturals, and check them out at ninosnaturalscbd.com if you're looking for any CBD products. They have gummies, tinctures, patches, and they range from CBG to CBD, and they have different type of tinctures, different milligrams as well.
And honestly, like I like their CBD night
stuff. Mention Micannacast 15 at checkout, $50
free
over,
shipping.
you get free shipping, and you get 15% off your order by using our promo code.
Micannacast 15.
And we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then we are dabbing on some animal mints, so that's somebody got another comment. So yeah, but is the Puffco easy to clean? That's a good question.
Tell me, Groovy.
Yeah, relatively. Yeah, so far it has been. I don't know if you're supposed to use alcohol every time. I use alcohol sometimes, like if I leave it, but if it's still like warm, you can just wipe it up with like I have like glob mops, which are just like denser.
Yeah, I have those too.
What they call denser Q-tips.
Yep.
So it's been pretty easy for me to clean. But it says I don't want to tip it forward and spill water all over my shit. But it
has been nice though for the lives and even the review we did last week on the episode.
Yeah, no, it's definitely convenient. It's quieter, you know what I mean? But and then, like I said, I actually kind of wish I had the nicer one to try out. But
which one's that again?
Thankfully, I like cooler dabs. Like for the most part, I don't like super hot dabs. So 500 seems to work for me, and thankfully 500 is actually the minimum on the other one too, the Dr. Dabber. So no matter what, I'd be good. If you like that 450, the Dr. Dabber doesn't do it.
I like that 450.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You kind of gotta know thyself. You know what I'm saying?
I do sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been enjoying it. It's got some. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do like it. I do like it. So, but yeah, I think it's relatively easy to clean. So, I don't know how to say that any other way than that. But
is the flavor that much better than off a banger or rig? Groovy? T-Dub asked. It's a good question, actually.
I think if you take cool dabs and you like time it right or you torch it right, like probably nothing different, right? Like 'cause my thing is that it's more consistent than my numbered game, because sometimes I would be impatient and I'd be like, screw it, 20 seconds, it's no big deal. And then all of a sudden, bruh. And it's only like a 20-second heat up time. So
yeah, that thing's pretty quick, man.
So it's kind of like, I still have my quartz nail. You know what I mean? It's just this is more convenient.
It's funny. I haven't seen him hit it since he got the Puffco.
I don't use it as much. It is crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen you hit it.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't while we were here because it's just quicker up here. But like when I'm downstairs chilling, sometimes I will at the table because that's where it's set up. I won't do it. I won't go out of my way to do it. This thing is look at this. It's all fits in my hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty much just like on the go. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Just carry it on the go.
Yep.
Did it come with a travel case?
Yeah, it's like a little rubber thing that it comes with. I think they all kind of come with something, but yeah, I mean, it comes with it's like a foam thing. So if it dropped, I'm sure it wouldn't break. I mean, I can't say that though.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I ain't saying shit. Oh man,
Groovy breaks shit all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a skill of mine. I just suck.
Man.
Yeah. Not my. Yeah, I spill shit. I break shit. I'm normal. I do what I do.
Yeah, here and there. I just want to talk about this real quick. What Mitch McConnell calling the blast the marijuana safe banking act and calling it a poison pill.
Wow. So okay, let's talk about it.
What? I gotta find this exact quote, but I want to talk about that because by calling it a poison pill, you're still seeing how bad this is for cannabis. Like what? How is it? Is it just bad because they're trying to stuff it into this legislation? Probably. He goes, this is what he says. Any Democrats hoping to yank the bill to the far left or insert poison pills are badly mistaken. And he's the Senate Minority Leader. So it's like, dude, you guys had it in the defense bill in December, pulled it out. It's passed the House 6 times, and now it's back on the Competes Act, right? I have a feeling it's just not going to make it part of that bill, unfortunately.
It might not.
Like
double tap, just heat it up.
Unfortunately, I just don't know if it is.
I mean, I'd love to see it. Tree Strains, what's up on IG?
But with it being,
I want safe banking to happen, right?
It needs to happen.
It needs to happen. So it's like, but I how many times have I said this? I've got excited so many times. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't feel like. Okay, so he clearly doesn't like cannabis, right? So this is clearly a hate for cannabis in general. So, like, no matter what, it's going to be bad. So no matter what bill you attach to, this guy's going to hate on it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't make this person happy. So it's like, whatever.
Until he's out.
Right. That's
he's
like
not
what we got.
happy.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got. Yep. Man, and do I think it's gonna make it this time? I hope so. I hope so. I hope it makes it this time. Like, but I've said that the past. How many times has this happened, Dave? Dave? How many?
It said it was.
How many times we had this
passed
conversation?
The House in some form 6 times.
6 times. That's why I said. I thought you said it. I'm blanking right now.
That's a lot,
dude. Nuts.
I wonder what the highest is for a bill to get denied and then finally get passed. It's got to be cannabis.
Dude, it's got to be.
I mean, could be completely off. There could be something that's denied 30 times, 10 times. So the safe banking, hopefully it passes.
Right.
But unfortunately, with a statement coming out like this, I just don't know, because the Competes Act is supposed to help. I think, what is it, boost the economy to compete against China, pretty much, and could be able to produce a bunch of chips here in America, because we're on that huge chip shortage.
That huge chip shortage. Yeah, you don't.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Crazy. But I just want to talk about that because I think calling it the poison bill is just a bad look for safe banking. Just bringing more negativity to it when it should just be passed, like we were saying all the time, dude. So yeah, I saw that in the news. I was like, okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
I was like, dang, Mitch McConnell's still hating on it.
I mean, doesn't he always hate on cannabis?
He does. He reminds me, though, of
how that's what I'm trying to say.
Sessions back in the day.
Dude, you're best bud.
Oh, that guy was the worst. That guy was the worst. There's just been, man, But they're slowly getting out of office, and we're slowly seeing the change. Obviously, because we're seeing that within the psychedelic movement completely with cannabis and all ethogenetics. Like that's just great. That's phenomenal for a lot of people.
Hey man,
and be able to have access to
I
that.
truly think they're parallel. You know, I truly think they're going to be parallel, and that's why we talked about it. It's fantastic.
I agree, my dude.
So yeah, how's everyone smoking? What's everyone smoking on? Dabbing on.
Yeah, that implement's pretty good. Who is that by?
True.
True.
That's True North. Yeah, it's just some batter, but I told you it's got good flavor, and like because the low temp, I think it keeps it like more flavorful.
I dig the Puffco though. Like I was saying for these lies, man, they're nice. Just pass it back and forth.
Yeah, definitely.
Load it up, go. Pretty lit.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, anything else you want to say on ethogenic plants? Because, like, I mean, I just think those are I've said my thoughts a million times. Like, they should be legalized because the more parallel, and then, like, we should follow it with being supporters of cannabis because, you know, they're gonna matter. They're gonna correlate.
Yeah, I agree with you on pretty much all that. I don't have much else to say on it. I think if it does make it to the ballot, it will pass in 2022 here in Michigan. They had some type of thing going on today, and then it finalizes like by March 8th or something if it'll be for us able to vote on. So if it is, fingers crossed, right?
Right. That's all we can do.
That'd be huge. Only one of few states that would have that, so I think that'd be awesome. So, and then hopefully Detroit here starts getting some adult use licensing. I heard there was an update, but I haven't seen the rules on it, so I can't really talk on it, but that'll be exciting. Hopefully it's good stuff. If it's bad, then
right. Like, I mean,
crap.
hey, whatever.
But
here we are again.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man. I got nothing else on tonight's Terp Talk, man. I'm caught a little early today.
Yeah, I'm stoned. I'm feeling that those dabs and stuff. To be honest with you, brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Honestly, I appreciate everyone tuning in. I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, then check out our episode tomorrow, guys, at 4:20 Eastern. It'll be released. We'll be going live this Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Wake and bake. Have a great week. If it's your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button as always. And as always, Groovy, we're here to advocate,
educate,
and inspire. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.